Good morning, everyone. It's Thursday, September 9th. Just going to run through the morning charts here. Yesterday we saw gold pretty much trade sideways for the entire session. It did drift down a little bit later in the afternoon, but overall it was trading within the previous day's range. And nothing special there. As for the intraday and daily chart, yesterday morning I pointed out we had this bearish pattern. This is a pattern that if you start looking for it, you'll see it quite often. What it is a big volume spike up, and you'll see a drift down like a bull flag, but then you'll see this kind of hook shape up. It just kind of drifts and then picks up speed as it breaks out above the high, and usually it'll happen on light volume, usually on overnight trading, but if it happens during an intraday, doesn't matter what time frame it is, it should be on lighter volume. And I was pointing out that most likely we'd see gold pull back to the 1255 area, and of course it did not too long later, and it pretty much found support there for the entire session, and found support there because it was a top from the previous day. Anyways, let me just pull up the daily chart. Daily chart, we're right into this top range here. I would expect we're going to get something similar to what we saw back in June, where you break the previous high, so you get a pierce of the previous high, and then it gets sold into, and then we had it again. We had a pierce of the previous high, and it got sold into, and then we had another more or less a double top there, and then we saw the correction. So I have a feeling we're going to pierce this top here, and it'll probably go up probably in the next week or so. I would think we're going to see a nice spike up. We could see gold jump to 1270, 1275, clear this top here, and then we might see some big selling step back in, and for it to get a pretty sharp correction. There hasn't really been any big pullbacks along this way. There was one pullback there, but overall there's a lot of stops in place here, and of course every time it breaks a new more or less daily low or a new spike low there, there's going to be a wave of stops, so it's going to just waterfall and start to trigger stops and work its way down, and that's why you get these sharp sell-offs, something similar to like this. There was always a higher low all the way up, and of course once you break the first low, it's going to trigger stops, and if there isn't a lot of buying volume there, those stops turn to market orders, and of course they just continue to sell, and it'll just push the market down. It'll trigger the next layer of stops, and then that's how it just works. You kind of get this tiered waterfall sell-off. So that's what I think is going on with gold. Silver will follow suit. Silver is a lot more volatile, so it could you'll see much bigger whipsaw actions in silver. As for the SP 500, we've got the daily chart here. You can see right now we're trading at the 200-day moving average, just below it right here, and more or less it's formed a little bit of a bull flag, and it's trading right on this. You can see this gray trend line here. It's the 5-period moving average, which acts as a pretty good area of support, and so we're trading right there. And of course if we move much higher, we're going to be trading right into pretty major resistance, and if we happen to really clear that and move up, then I think we're in a nice trend up. But right now we're just trading at resistance. This is going to be a light volume week, which it has been so far. There's only another day left, and we've got options expiry coming in next week, so we've got some really light volume and some choppy action coming ahead in the next 5 or 6 trading sessions. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Right now the trend is still up, and we're fighting at resistance, so we're pretty much stuck between the 5-day moving average and the 200-day moving average, and we got the 50 curling up underneath it. So we're going to just see what plays out here, and go from there. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.